The UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson says the conflict in Ukraine may drag on until the end of next year because of stiff resistance to Russia's invasion. Laura Megan-Ishworth joins us live from Riga. Laura, we're hearing today as well reports that Russia says it wants to seize control of the south and the east of Ukraine to lay down a land corridor to the annexed Crimean region. Remind us again why the Donbas region to the south and east of Ukraine is so critical to Russia's ambitions in Ukraine.
Well, it's exactly that, to create that land bridge, basically join up those areas that Russia annexed previously in 2014 in Crimea with its mainland country, if you want to refer to it as that. It is a huge amount of land in terms of the size of Ukraine, that big eastern and southern part. And yeah, the defense ministry at Russia said, or a commander from it said, that during the second phase of this special operation, as Russia calls it, the Russian army plans to establish full control over Donbass and southern Ukraine and provide a corridor to Crimea. There's also suggestions as well that having control of Mariupol would offer up another land bridge towards an area of Moldova that separated itself off in 1992. There are 1,300 so-called peacekeepers, Russian troops, stationed in that area, Transnistria of Moldova. And there are concerns now that perhaps Russia is setting its sights also on that part of the world as well. Moldova is neutral. It says in its statutes that it will remain neutral. And we know that it isn't planning to put forward any kind of bid to join NATO, as Finland and Sweden have considered over the last few weeks. And so it's possible there that it could be that Russia wants to push even further into a country where NATO forces, like Ukraine, cannot assist. The West will not be able to go into Moldova because it is not part of the alliance. And that sort of sentiment that attack on one is an attack on all does not apply to them. So this obviously will be concerning for many intelligence officials. They will be watching what Russia is doing very closely from now on.
Laura, meanwhile, the UK Prime Minister is saying the UK will reopen its embassy in Kyiv next week after France and Spain. Why now?
Yeah, so this came from a press conference that Boris Johnson was holding alongside the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. He's obviously there in India for bilateral talks with the government there, looking for a free trade agreement, looking to really tighten that relationship between the two countries in terms of security and other alliances as well. And the Prime Minister said that he will be looking to open that embassy in Kyiv again in the next couple of weeks, saying that the actions of Ukraine's defence forces in Kyiv and the strength of Ukraine's Prime Minister Volodymyr Zelensky has allowed that to happen. We know that Russian troops had moved back from Kyiv. They'd repositioned themselves and re-strategized, if you like, to try to push hard on the east. And that seems to have opened up this window of opportunity for the UK to return its diplomats to the capital city of Kyiv. But there was a warning from Boris Johnson as well. Really, he said that it is entirely possible that Russia will push forward and could win this war. Of course, a lot of it will depend, Ukraine's President Zelensky says, on the amount of hardware, weapons that Ukrainian defence forces can access. And so that will be paramount moving forward.
And thanks for that, Laura Megan-Ishworth speaking to us there from Riga.